Hey everyone, and welcome back to ButchyBoom. We're so excited you're here. We're having a cluster of bad luck here with this streaming software. So pardon the flashing and flopping all over the place. Welcome. We are here talking tonight about stuff that's in the news. And if you're an Uber Eats driver or an Uber Eats delivery person of any kind, you want to pay attention to this video. And listen, I'm going to give you a heads up. This is regarding Snoop, if you can't tell. Okay, Snoop's in the news, and Snoop let off on a Uber Eats driver and Uber, and said that he was leaving Uber to go to Postmates. Obviously, Snoop, you didn't get the memo that Uber and Postmates are one and the same, man. But anyway, be that as it may, but that's not all we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk a lot here today live. I've got another video that I've done. The video is too long, or it would be too long if I want to include everything that I have here planned for tonight in one video. So I figured I'll do it live, and then we'll break it up into small pieces. Because here's the thing. If you haven't heard what happened with Snoop, I'm going to play his video that he put out over Instagram here in just a second. Okay? But after that video, we're going to break that video down. We're going to discuss everything that happened, and we're going to show you how and why it should have never happened. Snoop should have got his food one way or the other. And I want to give you a little hint. I'm going to show you why at the very end. So you're going to have to stick around, and you're going to see a delivery timer. And I'm going to show you why Snoop should have got his food one way or the other before that driver pulled away. Okay? With that said, let me go ahead and kick this video up, all right? And hopefully it plays for you just fine. Now listen, I am not a video person. I am not somebody who knows how to do all this instant stuff. So I'm doing the best I can, so bear with me. But here we go, I think. Okay, we'll make it happen. You're going to hear it.
Motherfucker from fucking Uber Eats didn't bring my fucking food. Talking about he arrived. This is not a safe place. You punk motherfucker. Where my food at, nigga? You got all my goddamn money, punk.
Okay. If it wasn't pretty clear to you, you ought to be pretty clear by now that Snoop is really pissed off. Now, listen. In the trailer to this video, I had said a couple of things that, was this an actual gimmick to get free food? I'm not going to come out and accuse the Uber driver of that in this video. But I would really like to hear more about this. I really would, just because it sounds so bizarre how somebody could sit there 8 minutes and then mark it as unsafe. I have a hunch what we're talking about is a miscommunication. I have a hunch, and I'll clarify that for you at the end too. But overall, by the time you're done watching this live feed, if you're fortunate enough to watch, you're going to walk away with some pretty good information. I've got some good tips in here on how you can avoid delivering to areas that you don't want to deliver to, how to be safe, and how to have a successful delivery every single time. It's very important, every single time. So what I want to do now is I want to play for you a little, we're going to break up the video that I started to do for you, and we're going to break it down into pieces. And because I'm very wordy, as you can probably tell, I'm going to stop here and there. I'm going to interject, and I'm going to throw some stuff in there that really should have been in the video. Now, before I get too far ahead, I did throw an invite out there for Snoop and the driver to get a hold of me, and I haven't heard back from either one. I guess everybody's pretty busy, and, we're just, who is ButchyBoom, you know what I mean? We're just a small little whatever. But we're going to turn this into a learning experience one way or the other. I've already gotten one comment, by the way, from the trailer video. I'm not going to respond back to that comment because I believe everybody should be receiving their order when they place the order, okay? Or we shouldn't be accepting it. Cancel it, okay? But that's besides the point. Now, with that said, let's start looking at that other video. Look, folks, I apologize for the production value of all this. We're not production experts here. We're trying very, very hard. And, if you want to help us get better, hey, don't be afraid to hit that tip jar up and we can afford better equipment. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start this video now, and I'm going to break in here and there. Please don't go anywhere. Watch this video. If you leave, you're going to miss a lot.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to ButchyBoom. We're so excited you're here. This is a very quick video, but before I get too far ahead, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's watching our videos, giving us those thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and even hitting up the tip link that we have through PayPal and Cash App. Wow, thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it.
Now, I told you we're going to have technical difficulties. That's one of them because that's the trailer. I was wondering why that was happening, but that's not what we're supposed to be seeing. So we're going to get rid of that, and I'm going to bring this in because I tell you, we're not technical folks here, folks. But we do try our best. And let's see, where is this thing? Oh man, what did I screw up? Didn't I put it in? How did that happen? Can somebody tell me how that happened? What did I do with... We just had this big, long song and dance about this video that was downloaded, and now I can't find it anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my mug off the screen here for a quick second. You guys don't go anywhere. Stay right here with me while we just work out this. I'll leave the mic on so you can hear it, okay? But in the meantime, I just have to figure this out. So just bear with me. Technicalities, live shows, shit. What can I tell you? Hang on, okay? All right. Now, we got to find that video. Here.
Whenever you go to OK Videos.
I thought I put it here in downloads, but let me go here. I wouldn't have put it there, right? Oh, it's right there. There it is.
What?
Episode. That's it.
It's going to open that for you quietly?
Oh, right. It's not going to open.
It's very quiet.
Here?
Open also. It's 10 minutes, 3 seconds.
That's it. Okay. We've got it, folks. I'm going to put this somewhere.
It's trying to open a project file. If they ever open a project file, don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. Listen. That's why it is there in the download section too, folks. I'm just, listen, I'm not technical. What can I tell you? But that's all right. We got this for you. We got this. Let me get rid of this overlay so you can see me again. All right. Now, we're going to get this thing going because guess what? I found the video. It took, there's more than me here, folks. And, here we go.
Everyone, and welcome back to ButchyBoom. So glad you're here with us. Everybody, thank you guys so much for subscribing and giving us thumbs up and watching our videos. We really do appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, what's stopping you? Give me a thumbs up and then subscribe. And we also do appreciate it if you're hitting up that tip button that we have at the bottom here. You can hit us up through the PayPal or the Cash App. Information's below. Let's move on. Listen, today's video is geared towards the new Uber drivers, old Uber drivers, and everybody in between. And the topic of discussion today is something that's actually been in the news. It's a topic related to Snoop Dogg. If you can, in the news, Snoop Dogg is quite pissed. Snoop Dogg ordered some Uber Eats, and through a series of unfortunate events, Snoop never got his food. And it resulted in Snoop putting out a video on Instagram. And it's to that video that we are reacting here and trying to turn this into a learning opportunity for new and existing Uber drivers. Okay? And I'm not saying Uber drivers, I'm saying delivery people, Eats more specifically. Okay? I guess this will apply for all deliveries. So, check it out. We're going to play the video right now. It's only about 15 seconds or so. Let you listen to it, and then we're going to pick right back up. So I'm going to pause right here. So here we've got several issues. The first issue is just a complete failure to deliver. But there's also a failure to utilize the features of the Uber driver app. And that's a big failure, I believe, on the driver's part. Okay, it's a lack of communication from the get-go. That's what we want to focus on. For me, when I do deliveries, and I'm pretty successful at it, okay, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do this. When I do a delivery, it's quite basic, quite simple, it's routine. As soon as I hit the restaurant, or as soon as I leave the restaurant with the package in my hand, I have a preset text that I'm ready to hit send to that says, I'm at the restaurant, I've picked up your order, and I'm on my way.
I want to just jump in here really quick because I really want to let people know too that sometimes, I got to tell you about this. Sometimes when you get to go do an order pickup, you're waiting in line, you can't even get to the pickup window. There's 10 people in front of you. Five Guys is really good with this. They wait until you're in the door, then they put the food on. Joe, is it in the door? Kind of a thing, and they holler that out. And so all the food is fresh. So there's a few minute wait, not so bad that I have to notify the customer. Wendy's, however, in Saratoga Springs, New York, forget about it. Okay, their lobby's forever closed. They put you through the drive-through. It takes a long time to get through there. And here's what happens: the customer's there tapping their foot, wondering, "What am I doing?" They could see I'm still in the car. It says on the app I'm arriving soon. I'm actually here in the drive-through line, 15 cars deep, waiting to pick up their Uber Eats order. So instead of getting the customer all pissed off at me before I even am able to let them know I'm leaving the restaurant, I have to let them know through the text. So you hit the details button, and that's going to bring up their window where you can hit the text or you can call them. I would suggest you just text and say, hey, I'm at Wendy's. There's about 15 cars ahead of me. They're really backed up. I'm in line for your food. Rest assured, I'll pick it up and it'll be very fresh when I get it. Kind of a thing. Something along them lines. They're going to love you for it, and they're going to think that you're not just standing around picking your nose and wondering, are you going to drop their order? Okay, so it's very reassuring to them. All right. So if you run across someplace like that and they're really backed up, especially today with staff shortages all over the place, communicate with your customer, and just be aware that some restaurants can be a little unscrupulous. I'm working on getting proof of this. I'll prove it at some point. I'm sure of it. That as soon as you pull up, they mark that order as delivered, or to the driver, or hand it off to the driver when they haven't even packed the French fries in the bag yet. Okay. And that starts the timer running, and that makes us drivers look bad. So that's why it's very important that we're communicating with our customers all the way through the process. If it's like an in and out routine thing, Chipotle is really good. There's a counter right there. TGI Fridays, there's a counter right there. Very rarely do I ever have to wait for any of those guys. But certain restaurants, it may be worth letting that customer know in advance, hey, I'm here, but the restaurant's just not ready for you yet, but your food should be fresh, and I'll bring it to you as quickly as they hand it to me, kind of thing. All right, let me get back to the video.
And I send it out. And I get in my car, and I'm gone. I'm trying to get there as quickly as I possibly can. No matter what the instructions are in the app, as soon as I hit the driveway or the parking lot or parking on the curb, whatever the case may be, I hit the other text. I send another text. I have arrived. Okay? When you stop, when you're there at the delivery location, the 8-minute timer starts. Okay? Now, certain instances you can start the timer yourself, and we'll do that in another video. That's not what this video is about. Okay? But for this video, the timer is going to start, and you have 8 minutes to hand off that food, or they have 8 minutes to come get the food. For me, I'm at your parking lot, I'm in your driveway, I'm following the instructions on the app. It says wait in the car. 2 minutes goes by, I don't see you. I've got your food right here. I'm going to hit you up again and say I have arrived. I'm going to allow 2 more minutes to go by. Not a second more, but 2. And then I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call you, because there is that little phone icon up there. You See it right there? And here's the text icon over here, right next to each other. You can't miss them, right? So those are your tools that you could be using to keep in contact with your customer. And I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, hey, customer, I got your food out here. I'm following your instructions to wait in the car, but I don't see you anywhere. Would you like to come get your food before it gets cold and so I can get on to my next delivery? 9 will get you 10. They're going to be, oh my God, I forgot. I wasn't near my phone. I was sidetracked. I was in the bathroom. I was putting the kids to bed, whatever the case may be. Okay? They're going to come out. They're going to grab their food. And you're going to go and you're going to have a very happy customer. You're going to complete it and be on to the next one. They are in return going to leave you a bigger tip. Most times, I'm going to tell you why in a second. And they're going to leave you some comments. Okay? Really good comments, above and beyond, perfect handoff, those kind of things. And they're valuable too for future customers to see that, hey, this is a really good driver here. He takes pride, or she takes pride in delivering the food with care. Now listen, my experience is, even doing rides, the majority of people want to be ready the minute the car pulls up to the curb to either jump in it or grab their food, okay? And I've seen a lot of people be embarrassed because they weren't ready, or they didn't come out and get the food on time, or whatever the case may be, all right? And that embarrassment, folks, is worth something to us because they try to make it up in the tip. And that's how they make it up to us, is in the tip. So if they're late, don't run off with the food. Don't cancel the order. You're shorting yourself and the customer, okay? So don't be afraid to use those tools. And if that driver would have just pressed that phone icon, he would have had a conversation with Snoop, and Snoop would have said, yo, man, you're okay. Just get out of the car. I'm watching you. I'm sure he can see it. The safety part. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say who should feel safe and who shouldn't. That's not for me.
You know what? I just realized I didn't have my mic on, and I'm so sorry. But I wanted to pop up and say to you that I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind what I was going to say to you. Let's just finish watching this video, and I'll be quiet.
Okay? But there's things that you can do as an Uber driver or delivery person to help you be a little more safe, okay? 1 is always keep your app on, okay? 2, know the location of the holy shit button on your app. And that's right here. You see that little icon right there? That is your button that dials 911 for you. And when it dials 911, that will give your car, make, model, year. It'll give you your name, all your vital information, and all the information on your passenger. Pick up, drop off, name, blah, blah, blah. And then the cops are on their way. Our ambulance is on the way. Fire department's on.
I remembered what I wanted to tell you about that, so I just want to back up just a little bit. You know, I'm a little bit of consumption issues. Anyway, listen, the driver's mistake was, I read in the article that in the Yahoo article that the driver had made a request for the customer to contact him, okay, to call. Now listen, this is where the driver went wrong. Again, I'll repeat. You pull in, you hit the button that says, I have arrived. You sent a text. 2 minutes later, you send another text, I have arrived. 2 minutes later, you call them. You press that button. Okay? Don't ask them to call you because maybe they're not hearing their phone. They're not next to their phone. But if you call them, their ringer is going to go off and it'll probably catch their attention. Okay? That's why you want to call them. And that's the whole point of letting them know from the time you leave the restaurant till you've arrived is that you keep them engaged with you so that they know when the minute you arrive and you don't have all this fiddle farting around waiting for the customer to show up and wondering what's going on. That's one of the driver's mistakes is the failure to communicate. And I'm sorry I have to put it on the driver because you got to stick around to the end and you got to see the end of this video. And I'm going to show you why Snoop should have got his friggin' food. It doesn't matter who the customer was, whether it's Snoop or the man in the moon. He should have got his food. Let's continue on.
Their way. I don't even think you have to talk to them if you don't want to. They'll just send somebody up and figure out what the hell's going on. Okay? The other thing you can do if you're doing Uber Eats, and I don't know about any other services right now. I'll look into it and let you know. But for Uber Eats, it is totally cool with them. You're not violating anything if you have a passenger in the car with you while you're doing deliveries only. I can't stress that enough. You cannot have somebody if you're doing drives. Okay? Don't even try it. But deliveries, yeah, you can have somebody ride with you. They can serve a great function and keep you company, good conversation, help you look out for street addresses, street signs if it's nighttime, raining, crappy weather, whatever the case may be. So that's something that you can consider doing. Bring a kid along, go pick up a friend that you haven't talked to in a while. Say, hey, come out and do some deliveries with me. You don't have to get out of the car, just sit here with me and talk. Kind of thing, whatever. There's many options out there. Also keep your, there's follow my ride. There's that option also that's built into the app. So somebody can be following your ride everywhere that you go to assure your safety. So there's lots of safety stuff that's built into the app. And of course, if you're a rider and using the app, you also have options too, because you have a holy shit button on your phone too that you can press if there's something goes crazy, inside your ride, God forbid, So safety, I hope that we've addressed that. There's really no reason that anybody should feel safe or unsafe rather. And if you don't know.
Okay. So with regards to the safety, I want to be at Mike's on. I just can't stress enough that nobody should ever feel unsafe, whether you're giving rides or whether you're delivering food. Okay, the system I think is set up, and to make it as easy as it possibly can. If you're delivering to an area and you're waiting for somebody to come and you can't stop, it's unsafe. I can't wait to get into the end of the video when I talk about this unsafe thing. One of the options that you have is to circle around, and you can text the customer and let them know that you're texting around, and that they can hold their phone up in the air if you're having trouble identifying them. And that will help so that you can identify where they're at so you can drop off their food. So before we finish that part of it, I wanted to get back in here and let you know that there's absolutely no reason anybody should feel unsafe. And when they're holding up their phone, you know that it's the customer. And that's really helpful in a crowd too. So with that said, I want to get back to the next part of the video, because now here comes some tips that you really, I've given you a bunch of them throughout here so far, but here's a big one that's coming up. And I hope everybody will pay attention to this part of it. This is going to save you a lot of grief. Okay.
A neighborhood, and you don't want to go delivering to neighborhoods that you don't know. Pay attention to what you're doing when you accept the call. Keep your screen recorder on, so if you miss seeing where the delivery is going, that you can go back and replay the screen recorder and say, Did
you get that? Keep your screen recorder on. if you keep the screen recorder on, you can, and most phones now, you're able to record the screen, everything that's going on. It'll record even what the environment inside your car in areas that you're allowed to do that. During the ride, before the ride, after the ride, whatever the case may be. But if you've got that screen recorder on and you're like, where's this order got to go? You can pull off to the side of the road really quick, stop the recorder, play it back, and say, oh, no, it's not, whatever. And you cancel the ride. Are you going to take a kick in the pants on the cancellation rate? Yeah. But is it safer or better for you to do it that way than to piss somebody off and not wanting to deliver somewhere? Yeah, it's much better to do that. Are you going to an area that you really don't know? It's much better to do that, have the cancellation, because that's going to go away. Okay. It's going to take you a little bit longer to get that downvote and the bad feedback and the reports that can go into Uber. It's just a big pain in the butt you don't want to have to go through. So make sure that if you accept an order, it's an order that you intend to carry out from the beginning, because that is the terms of service and that is in the community guidelines that we agree to. And I hate to sound like that, but that's the truth. And if we have to wait 8 minutes, we have to wait 8 minutes. But again, I'm going to tell you at the end, and I'm going to show you how Snoop should have got his friggin' food.
Changed my mind. I don't want to go. Cancel it. It's too far away. It's a neighborhood I don't know the streets to. The buildings are too high to walk up. Whatever the case may be. Okay? So you have options. And if you use these options, these are going to help you be very, very, very successful. I mean, listen, I'm not rolling in dough by any means. Otherwise, I wouldn't be out here doing this stuff. Okay? I'm doing it because I need the money. And if I'm going to be out here, I want to make money. I don't want to be fiddle farting around dealing with, having somebody's McDonald's in my front seat. I don't want your McDonald's. I need your tips.
Well, I guess I told you or told them. Listen, and that's the truth. Because listen, I got screenshots of my phone that I can put up here and show you. $3.25 for an 18-minute drive. That's not including my wait time or any of that stuff, my gas or anything like that, going to the restaurant to pick up, and you don't get a friggin' tip. I've gotten $2.50. Okay, my last one was $5.25 for like 40 minutes in the snowstorm. The roads are shit. I'm out there scooting around in a little Ford Focus, and somebody couldn't get off their butt to go to. I don't even want to tell you the restaurant, so the person doesn't know I'm talking about them. But $5.25, and it's usually the same customer over and over. I know when I get the call over there, that's like, ugh, it's no tip. Thank goodness, thank God that I get tips from other people, because I follow what I'm preaching here. I get a lot of tips that are above what was offered at the beginning. Okay, the customer tipped me extra. Plus, they've leaving great comments and stuff. All right, let's go on with the video here because we are being a little long. As soon as this dot goes away, it's almost over. Oh, here we go. All right. You see this? This is one of the most important things that driver failed to do. He didn't follow this. Leave the order in a safe place. Instead, he marked the order no safe place. That's not what was the instructions. The instructions were to leave the order in a safe place. What is a safe place to leave the order? Well, anywhere within the proximity of the address that you're told to deliver to. That's what Uber's talking about. Okay? More so when you have the customer, in this case Snoop, saying, leave it at the gate. It's not, that's what the customers determined as a safe place. I do not believe the driver necessarily was talking about that Snoop's place was unsafe physically. I think, and this is just my guess, I don't know, that's why I really would like to hear, I just can't imagine. I'd like to hear from the driver, but I believe what the driver may have meant is that he deemed that there was no safe place to leave the food. In other words, he didn't want to just leave it on the ground in front of a gate. Whether he didn't see the instructions, I don't know. I wasn't there. But stick around because we're not done showing you this video. I'm going to show you what I considered a safe place delivering to this college student. Okay? Now, some may agree, some may not, but when I play this video for you, and I'm going to keep talking through it, you're going to see it's out in the snow by the door. And then I said it was delivered. And I went about my business. And I got one extra ride towards my quest. I got the full price of the order plus the tip that was offered in the beginning. I didn't get anything extra. I don't know if the person ever found their food. I have no idea. But what I do know is that the trip was completed. They got their food. And I'm willing to bet you dollars to donuts that that driver who was delivering to friggin' Snoop got that same friggin' message that said, leave it in a safe friggin' place. And he drove off with his food anyway. And that burns my ass. Why? Because it gives Uber Eats drivers a bad name. And we work hard. We work really hard to get these deliveries out. Sometimes we get tips, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get thank you, sometimes we don't. But most of the time we're out there because we need the friggin' money, not because we just don't want to be a happy-go-lucky delivery person. So it really does burn me to hear that this driver didn't leave right there at the gate, just per the instructions. It couldn't have gotten any simpler. 2 seconds in and out of the car, bam, take a picture and off you go. If you didn't have time to take a picture, you could have typed a little thing. Customer directed me to leave at the gate, and that's what I did. And off you go. Snoop would have got his food. Whether it was cold or not, it would have been on Snoop because he didn't come out there within the 8 minutes. And that's, part of the customer's problem, too. The customer needs to pay attention to the clock or you're going to get your food left. It's not the driver's fault. The driver can't hang out forever. The driver's got a gazillion other deliveries they have to make. They have to make money. So that's what burns me a little bit about this. And that's why I'm doing this video, because this did not have to happen. And I know this is controversial. I know there's a lot of people out there who can give two craps about the Uber Pro program and earning points and keeping a good rating and accepting every ride and every delivery. But you know what? I do it because I have to, because I need the money. And I count on doing it with a smile and everybody's getting the same treatment no matter where I'm picking up, where I'm delivering. And, I don't like hearing the stories where people are just taking the food and run, because that's, there are those situations where you can't deliver the food. And then you call Uber and you say, I can't deliver the food. There's really no safe place to deliver it. There's a sidewalk with nothing else. You just want me to leave it on the sidewalk where their pin looks like it should be? You could do that. But, again, if I was a delivery person delivering the Snoop, he would have got his food one way or the other because I wasn't leaving there with it. I need to complete that delivery. I'm usually working a quest. At nighttime, it's probably an extra $2 or $3 or so. And, we get the information. And especially being in California, you get a lot of information that we don't get across the country, okay? You get a lot of information in advance. So you knew where you were going, any neighborhood you were going, and all that other stuff well in advance, And I'm not going to say shame on you because I won't do that. But it certainly, bothers me that you hear all of these things coming on, and now everybody's got an opinion about, Snoop should have done this, Snoop is at fault, the driver did this, the driver didn't do that. And I'm letting one driver to another, I think you screwed up, okay? That's my personal opinion. I hope that everybody got something out of this. There's no reason not to give people their food. Unless they're telling you to drop it off on Mars or drop it in the Hudson River somewhere. There's no reason they're not going to get their food. Leave them their food, take a picture, and off you go. With that said, don't forget to subscribe. We're going to put a lot more videos out. We're going to re-rack this thing somehow and put it together as a regular video without all my ranting and raving. And I hope that you subscribe. Give us some thumbs up. And after all of that said and done, have a great day.